To Geelong. Just an hour southwest of Melbourne, over 250,000 people live here. The region has gone through some tough times recently with the decline of the manufacturing sector, but there are some signs of renewal. And the renewal is coming from within. Local grassroots organisations are brought face to face with potential donors. This is collective giving. The funding network brings people together to create connections and raise much-needed funds. Here in this former wool mill, the people of Geelong are gathering, eager to hear stories of hope and transformation from within their own community. This regional centre may not have the same money as the big cities, but its smaller size means the presenters and the audience are more likely to be familiar with each other. These three not-for-profits are ready to pitch to their neighbourhood, share their hard work and ask for support in making Geelong a better place to live.
Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get started tonight.
Author and broadcaster Patrick Lindsay usually MCs these events in a city.
Wonderful. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. I think you'll have a wonderful...
This is the first time you've come to Geelong.
This is where we're going to end up going in the future. And I think the funding network thing will work everywhere. So this is kind of an experiment to see where it'll work.
Just north of here is Norlan. It's one of the poorest postcodes in Victoria, but one family has chosen to move in to see what their community needs. Simon, how are you feeling about tonight?
Oh, look, to be honest, a little bit nervous, but also looking forward to the opportunity to share with a bunch of people from Geelong.
In the city centre, a former drug addict is using his experiences to combat rising drug use in the region.
When it comes to asking people to, to help, that's one thing I have struggled with earlier, but I'm hoping that, all this hard work has paid off and, it comes across nicely and people are generous tonight.
And down south on the coast, one woman is getting kids on surfboards to face their fears and build resilience.
I guess we're all community-minded people and we're all looking to give and we're asking for something back, and it's quite a hard thing to do when you're used to being the one giving.
These local heroes have been vetted by the funding network and must have an average annual income of less than $1 million. They hope to raise at least $15,000 each. It's a big ask for a small town.
I think you'll appreciate this. We've got three remarkable organisations with three remarkable people behind them, and we've got a fantastic evening ahead of us.
This is our community. How does it happen?
The best communities are communities of necessity. We actually need one another, so we need one another to play soccer. You can't play soccer very well on your own, although you do that well.
Simon Greaves runs Norlan Community Initiatives. A social worker who believes in growing community from the inside out, he moved to Norlan 6 years ago with his family. Norlan, a suburb on the north side of Geelong, was once a thriving town, providing labour to the nearby car factory. Now the locals are doing it tough.
A lot of people have found themselves out of work and struggling to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage, pay the rent, which leads to a range of other issues, which could be addiction or poor mental health or physical health issues.
To develop leaders in the neighbourhood, Simon is encouraging people to get involved. Where does the passion for this come from? Is it something that came through childhood, or is it something else that's unique to how you look at the world?
It's deeply connected to my Christian upbringing, my faith, but regardless of that, I think I'd still be involved with doing this kind of community work because it's something which I feel like we all should be doing and can be doing.
In this former church building, the community gets together a couple of times a week to cook and share a meal.
This is the way we cook our sausages, cook our sausages, cook our sausages.
Up to 400 neighbours are part of this organisation. One of them is 29-year-old Josh. He moved into the area 5.5 years ago and was struggling to make new friends. Thank you, Josh. How did you feel when you first walked in the door?
I was a bit nervous at first, but Yeah, the first couple of people I met here were really encouraging. They kind of inspired me to stick around. The fact that I did have a disability, because I do, and I got intellectual disability and Tourette syndrome, so they made me feel at home with that as well.
Is that the spaghetti?
No, the spaghetti's in there. I put some away last week.
The People's Pantry is a food co-op where a $10 fee gives members access to fresh food and groceries. In return, they help run the pantry.
The issues of food puts them in crisis almost every week. So to have a space where they can come once a week and access food as much or as little as they need. People self-regulate, so sometimes they take a lot because they need a lot, other times they'll just take what they need for that week. This is an opportunity they can give back to the community and contribute to the community, as well as receiving something that will benefit them and their household as well. So there's a real pride that comes with being part of this cooperative and a real sense of achievement.
Simon plans to use the funding network event to counter the stereotypes about Norlan and send out a positive message to Geelong.
I'll have some papa.
Give Where You Live is a local foundation that helped to select the 3 not-for-profits. They are hosting the pitch coaching session.
Helping you pitch your work so that you can let other people enter and understand the deep commitment and the fantastic work that you're doing. So it's
Simon, Kane and Rachel are coached to craft and hone their pitch with their support person. Pitch coach is Emeritus Professor of Education, Barbara Kamler.
You could feel it. You just... I think a good pitch has to engage the heart and the mind. So we do work on getting them to shape and craft a story that really is the heart of the work that they do, but also they need to give substance. Is knowing how to manage audience response. And I use the word manage as a really important word to let you know that you really are in charge. You're not just
With over
giving a speech
56,000 charities registered in Australia, competition for the philanthropic dollar is fierce. Each presenter has 6 minutes to pitch. Simon is struggling to find the right words to get his message across.
I really want to find the language that that upholds and promotes the neighbourhood without reaching too deep into...
But I think you have to say it. If you just say, well, what you don't know about Norlan is this, it's like you're leaving the dead elephant in the room to do bad work.
Yeah.
It's better that you take control of it and say, there are many common labels applied to Norlan. So you articulate it. That gives you a position of clarity and power.
For these local organisations, connecting with donors in their community will help to raise money, but also raise their profile and create opportunities to develop ongoing relationships.
Very powerful. I just want to ask the question, why surfing?
Part of it is the ocean and being outside and being part of nature. You're engaging in something that's beyond you. You paddle out, so you're paddling and it's effort, but you turn around and you catch a wave and you go on that wave and it's just a magical moment. Everything disappears.
I wish I could just package exactly what you just said. Did you hear that? Did you hear how amazing that is, what she just said?
Yeah.
Youth worker Rachel Parker started surfing 3 years ago while backpacking through Europe. Surfing pulled her out of a dark place.
How important has surfing been for your own struggles?
For me, it's been a life changer, really. I've always had, since I was quite young, episodes of depression that would come and they would hit me pretty hard and I'd struggle through them. And surfing has been one of those things. I can go to it and I can find some peace, and it's 2 hours of silence. Like, it changes my outlook for the whole day.
It inspired her to start Ocean Mind, a surf school with a difference. These children are dealing with issues including social isolation, anxiety and a range of disabilities. The group meets on the beaches of the Victorian surf coast.
There's lots of new faces, and what I want us to all remember is to kind of meet someone new today, maybe have a conversation with someone we haven't spoken to before. Just say hi.
Each child is matched with a mentor who wears orange and works one-on-one with them for the duration of the course. Over 6 weeks, they learn to surf, but it's also about trust, confidence and developing resilience.
All right, Elvis, you ready to go? Yeah. Awesome, let's get on out there.
9-year-old Elvis joined Ocean Mind when anxiety stopped him from participating in sport. His mother, Sam, heard about the program through his school.
How long did it take you, do you think, to kind of feel comfortable with jumping up on the board and...
Not that long. I started standing up on the first day.
Wow.
It was good.
It was good. So, Sam, it must be great for you, in a way, to see your son take on his own challenges.
His anxiety was a real barrier for him. So this was really good because it was sort of a stepping stone back into a normal kid's activity, but he had those supports around him with the mentors. As a bonus, he's learnt to surf, which is another skill that he got out of it.
What's more important in all this? Is it the surfing? Is it the ocean? Is it the mentor relationship?
I don't think any individual part of it makes it work. Sometimes it's that relationship with the mentors and that ability to kind of build up their confidence in a really safe place. Sometimes it's the just being down at the ocean. It's also the surfing. So when you put all of those things together, that's what creates these life-changing experiences for Ocean Mind.
Rachel's service is in high demand. With 25 children on the waiting list, she needs funds to buy her own surfboards and wetsuits to make Ocean Mind independent and self-sustaining. Back at pitch coaching, Barbara is testing Kane Nuttall's motivation.
Dear Mum, I'm sorry that it's come to this, but unfortunately my sadness has drawn me to the point where I no longer want to live anymore. I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you. I just want you to know that I love you and I appreciate everything that you've done for me, and I'll always be looking over you. This is the note that my mum got home to, along with police, ambulance. They're pumping my stomach after an attempt at suicide. My mum.
Kane's experience as a recovering ice addict is what drives the Power in You project.
You kind of reached into the heart and gut through that really powerfully.
Yep. Cheers.
I guess the question is how much you tell.
Yeah. People can see the difference between a fake sorry and a sorry that comes from the heart. So I think that's really, really important.
Kane runs a support service for drug and alcohol addicts. He and his team of volunteers are there when people come out of rehab, a time when they are vulnerable to relapse.
Being an addict, we're so comfortable in surrounding ourselves by, people who are just doing drugs, and it's not that we don't care, it's just that we've totally forgot, of what our purpose is, So finding purpose back within ourselves.
After 12 years of addiction, Kane hit rock bottom. His friends were dying around him, and after the suicide attempt, he decided he had to change. He's been clean for over 3 years.
The thing is,
14 months ago, he started his own support group.
Because there's so much stigma that comes with addiction, and I feel that a lot of people, if you get called a junkie enough times or you get called a scumbag enough times, that's all you think that you're ever going to be. So a lot of people find it really hard to reconnect back with the community, but by bringing somebody back into the community and making them, a part of something, they've got better chances of just getting on with their life.
Let's get in. So this is a typical morning for you, heading to the gym?
Yeah, typical morning every Wednesday, off to the gym.
Part of Kane's program is getting people out and about, changing their social circles and getting physically fit. Margie is an alcoholic. She's about to go into rehab.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about going into it?
I'm a bit apprehensive, but I am looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to getting well.
Yeah.
I just really want to get well because I just feel lousy all the time.
Do you?
I knew I was really sick and I thought, I've got to do this, and I just rang Kane and out of the blue and said, I really need to get into detox, can you help me? Of course I was teary and all the rest of it, and he's been wonderful. I think this is a wonderful thing that they're doing, you know, it's something that Geelong needs so bad. You know, we need to be able to feel good about ourselves.
Great stuff, great stuff. Great work, guys. Good, Danny. Great work, Caitlin. Keep punching, keep punching.
Kane wants to expand his service to get a clinician or counsellor on board. He'll use the Funding Network event to get his message out to Geelong. Geelong is not a rich town. The median household income is below the national average, and there are pockets of high unemployment. So $15,000 for each organisation is a large sum to raise, and the team from the Funding Network know this.
You have to be clear about what you're asking them, because if you're a bit fuzzy or you're all over the place, they're thinking, well, I don't know, if I'm giving them money, what are they going to do with it?
So, you know, 15,000 tonight, you know, for me would mean the potential of having a counsellor for 2 days a week, you know, give them the support to re-engage with the community, you know, and that level of care that each and every one of us deserves. Thank you.
Should he suggest what more would give?
Yeah. More money. It's not quite, it's community focused because it's more corporates, and then, you know, we're not sure what sort of money we will have in the room. So no, I think that we stick with 15,000 because we don't also want the people in the room to think that it's too big an ask, too big a reach for them.
Patrick, how's the vibe here tonight?
It's really hard to tell. We've done, I think, more than 50 of these things, and each one is an individual thing. This will be different again because it's a regional area rather than the big smoke, so I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen yet.
To encourage the audience to reach their target, 2 local foundations have offered to match donations of up to $10,000 for each organisation. One of these is Give Where You Live.
I think the money that they will receive from tonight will really start them on their journey to really having great success and helping a lot of very vulnerable people.
Let's get straight into it. Let's meet our first organisation, the Power in You Project. Here to tell us more is Program Director Kane Nuttall.
Thank you everyone for coming. I was a party person. Everybody thought I was happy, but in reality, I was far from that. Inside, I was sad, scared, and in tears whenever I was alone. Along came ice, a drug that completely consumed me, controlled me, and numbed me from feeling anything at all. A drug that took my soul. I needed it every day. I saw the pain I was causing my family, but I couldn't stop. Something needed to change. I'm asking everybody tonight to stop waiting for change and be a part of the solution. Your generosity tonight will not only go to helping the individuals in need, but the community as a whole. Thank you.
How about that relief, eh?
Shaking like a leaf.
Our second organisation pitching tonight is Norlan Community Initiatives. Please welcome CEO Simon Reeves.
G'day, my name is Simon and I live in Norlan with my wife and our 3 beautiful children. Our family loves the neighbourhood in which we live. But it's with some sadness and apprehension that I say that, because for a long time now, Norlan has not been known as a place in which you should say that you love to live. It's often heavily stigmatised as a place with crime, drugs, people living off welfare. But tonight I'd like to share with you a different story of Norlan, where we try and cultivate community and regenerate the neighbourhood in which we live. Thank you.
Our third organisation this evening is Ocean Mind. Please welcome the founder, Rachel Parker.
Hi everyone, I'm Rachel, and I'm here tonight to tell you how this board can change a young person's life. And I'm going to start off with a little bit of a story. I'm going to tell you about Sam. Sam was a typical 11-year-old girl, but unfortunately Sam went through a traumatic event. She was sexually abused by somebody that she trusted. Now Sam's school referred her through to the Ocean Mind program. And when she came down to the beach, you could see in Sam that she really was just there. She wasn't quite present. She jumped in the water with her mentor and they pushed her into a wave for her first wave, and a big smile crossed her face. But I looked over at her mum, and her mum had tears down her face. Her mum looked at me and she said, "That was the first time I've seen my daughter smile in the last 8 months." Now for Ocean Mind, that's what we do. We put smiles back on young people's faces. Thank you very much.
Now I'll ask our presenters to leave the room so we can get started on the pledging session. If you guys will move out that way, they'll usher you out there. Please thank our presenters, ladies and gentlemen, as they leave us.
Now it's over to Geelong. Which pitch has touched their hearts, and who will they choose to support?
Yes, sir.
Adam Fratantaro, $100.
Thanks, Adam. 100, and yes, up the back, ma'am.
Eva, $100.
Thank you very much. 100. That's great.
Wow. You are so fantastic.
Sit down, yeah. See to go for a walk around the block.
Oh, good.
It's the biggest adrenaline here.
It is, isn't it?
Oh, my heart's still racing.
Yeah,
I just want to say that, you know, I saw you at the beginning and I've seen you through the process, and then I saw you tonight. It was absolutely thrilling. Really, you were just your best. The best you could be.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lucy. Lucy Dyer, 100. Yes.
Lulu Morton, $100.
Thanks, Lulu. 100. That's great. Yes, ma'am.
Another 100 from Sammy Sutherland.
Thank you, Sammy. That's great. Yes, ma'am.
$100 from the Birch family.
Birch family, $100. Thank you.
With a slow but steady start to the pledging, Kane's family steps in to help.
$100.
Jenny, and your surname? Nuttall. Oh, okay, thanks, Jenny. Getting it in the family. That's great. Well done. Shops.
Andrew Shawble, $200.
200, Andrew Shawbles. Thanks, mate. That's great. Yes, sir.
Murray Boyd, $300.
Murray Boyd, 300. Thanks, Murray.
Patrick works hard to make sure the pitchers get all the money that's on the table.
On behalf of Councillor Anthony
And we've got 10,000 matched funding, ladies and gentlemen, but of course it's going to be triggered if we can get the matches from the room. So let's keep going.
Stuart, 1,000.
That's a great match. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, further support. Yes, sir.
Matt Tawney, I'd love to be a mentor and I'll chip in 300.
$300. Thank you, Matt. That's great stuff. Thank you very much.
There is also money coming in from outside the room.
Yes, ma'am.
I've got a proxy for the English Family Foundation, if we could match it,
Yep.
$500.
500. Another 500 from the English Family Foundation. That's another good supporter. Can we get it matched? Yes, sir. 500 from you. Yes, sir. We're within striking distance of our target of that 15, ma'am.
Give Where You Live donates another $1,000 to each organisation, and the Geelong community steps up.
Going again?
Yes, we are. Yes, $1,000 Bell Family Fund, again matched, please.
Okay, there's the challenge again. Bell Family Fund, $1,000. 200 Marlene. We're one short, I think. We're $100. Is there $100 in the room? I'll do that $100, and then we're there. Okay. Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful effort that is. Okay, can we ask our presenters to come back in, please? Come on out the front, guys. You have had a wonderful audience here, a very supportive audience, and I think you'll be pretty impressed with the work that they've done on your behalf tonight. Have a look at the boards. We'll go through them one at a time. The Power in You project, $22,200. Kane Community Initiatives, 23,300. And Ocean Mind, 22,400.
Nearly $68,000 has been raised tonight, a great outcome for the first live crowdfunding event in Geelong and a powerful endorsement from the community.
I think it just shows how passionate people are looking after their town, looking after their place, and areas that struggle a little bit more, people are willing to pitch in and help out.
Yeah, what a tremendous output from such a amazing supportive community.
Does that support also mean, in a sense, real endorsement for the program you have and the vision that you have for it?
Yeah, it really it does. It shows me that the community is backing us and believes in what we're looking at trying to achieve, and that's really special. It's quite humbling.
That was fantastic. The stories that each person had, you almost wish you could give everything or give more than you could.
This is far more personal, far more direct contact and far more empathy with the organisation. And then, of course, it's here, it's local.
I think that this is huge for Geelong because it breaks down the stereotypes. People realise that we're all the same, we're all human, and we can all actually help each other out. So I think that for Geelong this is really healing, and this is signs of really good things to come.
Next time on Compass.
This is no ordinary fundraiser.
If we give up on children, they give up on themselves. You have the chance to change the life of a child.
Our Brave Life is able to equip, empower and encourage teenage mothers to complete their high school education, pursue their dreams and to live life brave.
We are much more than puppy cuddles. In fact, we've flipped the animal therapy world around and instead take the people to the animals.
Pitch Up Brisbane. Next time on Compass.